does the evidence say about your industry? Why is that important? Because that is what's going to help you to provide sustainability throughout the years in business. So why are we here today? Today we are sharing the love. My topic is simple. Really simple. It's really strange not to see your comments, so I'm just going to ad lib. But love isn't love until it's given away. Love is not love until it's given away. And so to all of you amazing individuals who are out there, thank you for the beautiful hearts. Thank you to all my replay viewers. And we're just going to chat a little bit about something that I learned this weekend. Well, something I'm always learning. I'm always in a position of growing my mind, growing spiritually, growing professionally as well. And I learn from the very, very youngest of them, and that is our children. One of the things I shared this weekend with my daughter, and I think it's important to share with the listening audience, because a lot of times we can get away from the fact that children are always watching. Children are always watching what we do, what we say, how we interact, the way we present and represent ourselves, the way we present and represent them as a body in our work, and the words that we speak that can be sometimes extremely harmful. So I want to share a little bit about the conversation, because my daughter is she's such a unique individual who cares about the life of all of mankind, and that is one of the things my children have always pushed me to be who I am, to affirm human social value for all people, and that means all people. No one is left behind. So as we go throughout our day, I want to you to begin to think about when you are in a place of ministering to others, whether that's through your work, whether that's through ministry in your church, whether that's ministry behind the walls, without walls, whether that's ministry as you serve in leadership, wherever you are, remember that they're always looking. And here are some of the takeaways that I got from her was, her faith. She began to waver in her faith. And it wasn't because of anything that I was doing or my husband and I were doing in our household, but it was the things that she saw in the world. Because here's what happens, and here's what's factual in science. Factual in science is that children learn from us as parents as their primary providers, their primary source of socialization, until they are age 9, right? And then somewhere around there, they begin to be socialized. Once they start to go to school in the adolescent ages, they begin to be socialized primarily by their secondary sources, which are their peers and the people who teach them, right? Because they spend more time with them. So herein lies the struggle with their faith. Number one, we don't know what they're being taught in school. So ask those important questions. Remember, love isn't love until it's given away. But what kind of love is being given away, right? So then let's expound on that a little bit, because she began to talk about church. And I noticed that my daughter, literally was straying away from church. And it was because of the things that were being said, the things that were being said out of the pulpit. When you go into a church and you go into a place where all you hear is ministers spewing out those things that are sinful, as if we all aren't sinful, right? As if we all aren't sinful, right? How about if we just share what God is? Love, right? Because in her eyes, she saw her friends being abused. She saw those who are overweight being abused, those who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual being abused. She saw the drug addict, those who are suffering with substance abuse as being abused. She sees all of the things, the social conditions that are impairing individuals, whether it was their choice or not. She sees it as abuse, because we're not, when we send children to, when we bring them into the church and they are smart enough to get it. They're smart enough to know that you say the church is the hospital, but yet when I get here, I'm attacked for everything that's wrong with me, right? So in her eyes, why? Why should I be a part of this? Tell me why this Christianity thing should be my thing. Because that's not my thing. It's not my thing to harm people. It's not my thing to make people feel less than. So in all things, let's be mindful of the things that we're saying, not just in the pulpit, on the airwaves, who we're targeting as we say them, because some of the things we can say are so profound. Sometimes I just turn it off. I literally will turn the camera off because I can't take anymore. I can't take any more of the words that are being spewed out into the environment or into the atmosphere. So I think it's very important that we are consciously aware that love isn't love until it's given away. And how are you giving it away? How are you giving that love away? Because our babies are watching. And to me, that's my legacy. That is my most important audience, is the children, because they are the leaders of tomorrow. So because of that, I'm catering to what they feel, think, and how they're going to move forward. That is what really matters to me. Because again, one day God's going to take me home. And then my thing is, what message will I leave behind? So be mindful in everything that you do and everything that you say, that it's done and said in love, and that it doesn't sound like hate. You know, because some things may not be intentional, may not intentionally sound like hate, or may not intentionally be hate, or even be intended to be expressed that way. But because of the way it sounds, and it resounds through the airwaves. So I caution you to be mindful that love isn't love